Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to be very quickly getting into our second game here of the first week of the Newell Winter CSGO Championship. A little bit of a mouthful, but we need to get it out of the way, of course, so everybody knows where we're at. The first game, a little bit one-sided in the end on this very same map between Bath A team and the Warwick C team, I suppose, or the Warwick Rejects, as they name themselves. But yeah, it was a pretty unfortunate turn of affairs, especially on the T side for Warwick. Hopefully we won't be seeing too much of the similar situation here. We've got Team Portsmouth up against Brufessors, which I believe is Brunel University. So it should be a pretty interesting one. Joining me yet again, of course, is going to be Dr. Pie. And I don't know about you, but I am hoping for a bit of a closer game between these two teams.
Yeah, definitely. That first game was a bit of a stomp, a little bit of a comeback from Warwick. Just kind of made it a little bit closer, got themselves some dignity so they didn't lose too badly. But overall, I would say that Bath team did stomp over. And now, hopefully, we're looking for a more closer game. But Portsmouth, coming into this season, they have possibly one of the strongest rosters out of all the teams in Newell. They've got 4 Face-It level 10s and a Face-It level 8, which makes them right near the top. And 3 of these players play on not the same, but ESCA main teams, which makes them very of good players. So they're looking to kind of show themselves, help them secure this. Definitely a top 16 finish would be quite easily achieved by them, and they're maybe looking to go further, and hopefully they'll take themselves to Katowice in the end. But you know, let's not get ahead of ourselves. They got to prove themselves in the early weeks, but they do pick up this 9th round on Overpass, so we'll stick on the same map. We'll see what they can do here. I say we'll choose CT side.
That's generally where it would go. I mean, even, you know, back in the day on Cobblestone, teams would often start on the CT side. It's a little bit more difficult going into your CT side. As we saw in the previous game with a round deficit, you've got a lot more to think about from an economic standpoint. It can be harder to come back from the depths, so to speak, on that CT side. So it does make sense. But here we go, getting straight into the pistol. 5 sets of armor for Brufessors. They are looking for a fast A hit by the looks of things. Maybe down connector, as yet to be seen. Nice shots coming in from Bensky, though. Not quite able to secure anymore, but they will be happy to pick up the first kill. It does depend on how Portal does here in towards the bathrooms. A little bit awkward for him. Eventually runs out of ammo and taken down. You definitely do. But the A hit, meanwhile, for the T side coming in. Neil, again, just the 1-for-1 trades, and especially with that untraded kill in the bathrooms, it's going to work out pretty heavily for Brufessors.
Yeah, 2 versus 3 here for the CTs, as Ara does take down JBY, sitting back in toilets, and now Cloudy's left in 1 versus 3. He's got everything to do and not a lot of time to do it. The kit's dropped somewhere on site, so he's just going to have to try and find these picks. Doesn't hit any headshots as of yet. Does pick up the first kill, and now he's just going to have to back up and wait and try to find this kit and pick up the defuse. But the T's are playing back in toilets, and so they've kind of already secured themselves this round. The kit's so far away. Cloudy has nothing to do, no time. He does find the first kill, finds the kit. Could run back now, but he should go leave it. Does here, Auro, and he's looking to pick up that kill, doesn't kill him as of yet, and now Auro takes him down. That's a bit of a sloppy round coming up on the T side, but that's what happens when you pick up 5 armors, no utility. You just take those aim jewels and you just win them. And so they'll move on to their first buy, picking up 2 AKs, an MP7, a UMP, and Auro's just going to stick with the USP possibly. He's going to pick up a MAC-10 here, as the CTs go for a bit of a force buy. JBY sticking only with the deal, no body armor or head armor for him. So we'll see what they can do here, as the T's have just spread out, gone a little bit for a default round. So how do you think the CTs will have to play to kind of secure themselves this round?
I think Overpass is actually a map that does hand itself to the force buys sometimes. We saw a couple rounds go the way of Bath in the previous game. They just need to overwhelm ultimately, and that's, I think, what they're looking to do a little bit on the B side. I do like the passive setup, so they're not taking direct fights with the rifles. But yeah, ultimately, it's going to need those Deagles to hit some pretty nasty shots. And here we go. Going to be given a bit of an opportunity.
Nice position, but drops down. As the T-Star going to start barreling out onto this B site here. Smoke site, mid site. Does allow them to get onto the site, but Neil just going up and getting pick of the deal, but the trades come out for the T side here. So Zen on fire with some nice headshots coming out for him. JBY left in a 1 versus 4, no armor, doesn't pick up a headshot. Eventually kills one, and now the T's are just looking to K. Oh! What is that nade? That's a bit of a Kobe there. That was a nice little round coming out for the T, so just effectively using that one smoke to just get onto site. CT's playing around it quite well, but can't really do much when you don't have any utilities to fight back to box out the T's. And now Brunel just going to carry on this, looking to secure themselves a nice anti-eco victory to put them 3-0 up in this overpass game. But big nades coming out for the T's as they just barrel out by Fountain. Now 2 picks coming out from the CTs, and that's shut down quickly. Nice work done from Portsmouth to get themselves 2 picks, but I wasn't expecting a round win for them there.
Yeah, you don't really expect too much in a situation like that. But again, keeping the economy modest, we talk about it time and time again. We will see this round, though, the MAC-10 in play for Lou is definitely going to be a thorn in the side of some of these CT players, 3 of them lacking the head armor. That's definitely what he's looking for. Nice angle from Bensky, to be fair. Normally you see the AWP play above the smoke, but he just kind of goes for it dry. And it ends up working out. Going to be that first pick coming on through, and now in this oh-so-important gun round for Team Portsmouth, they've got themselves that early pick, that early control. It's now just a question of what they're going to do with it.
Yeah, Brunel not very careful there, just jumping out of that T-ramp straight into the waiting arms of Bensky. And that's what the AWPs can do on this map. They're so vital if getting these early entries, so such a long angles that they can just effectively work. Just able to get a pick back up, hold back another further long angle, and pick up another pick, and just that's how the CTs can box you out if they've got a strong AWP. This is really where they shine. Overpass has got to be one of the strongest AWP maps as they're able to do so much work, and JBY playing the bait setup as Bensky picks up the second there as RO comes out. Now JBY left in an awkward position. Zen on fire just comes down, shuts him down. He's going to go collect the bomb. Nice little work from him. Zen on fire's been impressing me a bit with his aim in this game so far. He's really been kind of shutting down any attempts from Portsmouth.
It's just now a question of where do they work this bomb. Obviously having that man down just from the initial pick, essentially, of Bensky, resulting in a bit of a back foot round. Oh, but what a shot coming in from RO. Cleans up Neil. Smoke going to go down. Going to allow the bomb plant to come in. A great read as well from RO to pick up Cloudy. And suddenly we find ourselves in a 2-on-1. But Portal doing what he can. Again, clean headshots all around. As RO unsure of which side he's coming from. The silence pays off, though. He will peek out at the right time, find the headshot on the 4th round for Brufessors. This is definitely not what we expected coming into this.
Yeah, I thought this would be like a huge stomp for Portsmouth. They have their individual skill coming into this. I thought they'd be able to box them out. To be fair, I didn't really look too much into Brunel. I don't know how good their players are, but they seem to have warmed up. They've got the deathmatch going. They're 4-0 up. It's not all secured yet, but from what I've seen, they've been looking very, very impressive. Obviously, minor mistakes on both sides could cost them, but that's what happens so early on in the tournament. But we'll see what they can do here. Is Portsmouth, Cardi and Neil just overlapping a little bit. Bensky's got himself an aggressive position, and nobody's watching this on the T side, and you might be able to get a very important pick here coming out around the back.
Oh,
just slides
up.
Oh, please go for the knife. Go for the knife. Oh, that's brutal. He picks up the first kill of Meku, turns around quickly. But, that's a lot of money in his bank. And now
yeah, for
Meku's
sure.
going to have to be careful. They're going to have to clear out all this angle. The T's are very worried that connector controller has just been fully given up by them. So they've just reacquired it. And now they just have to hold on and wait. 50 seconds on the clock. They've got a little bit of map control, but the CTs they're still able to hold some of these aggressive angles towards B, but the T's are looking to hit A. So JBY's going to have to call the rotate soon when he spots them on long. This
is the question of the day. is whether they're going to be able to find this or not. Looking to make their way, like you say, on towards that A site. The T's moving up slowly but surely, using that utility that they have available to them. Neil, though, and just pick up one before the bomb goes down, but here comes the superior weaponry, as you would expect.
It's so
but JBY
sloppy,
brings it back into a 2-on-1. It's not great to watch at all, but very well done. Quinny P saves the round for Brufessors, but that is far too close. Like you say, just getting a little bit overzealous in the post-plant positions, really not using what utility they had available or getting into decent positions. They instead are just getting aggressive, getting greedy for frags, essentially, and it ends up almost costing them the round. A nice little bit of individual play, thanks to low HPs as well.
Yeah, Portsmouth were just able to run out there and just take all the duels they wanted, catching Brunel off guard. Portsmouth were playing a little bit with disrespect there, not really respecting any place or position that Brunel could hold, but 5-0 up for Brufessors. They're feeling confident right now. They're going for a bit of a B hit here. There's no A map control taken for them, so they will have to either fall back and then slowly take A control, or they'll just have to hit B, and that's what they're looking to do. They're gonna set up outside Monster for some nades. As a little bit of utility just gonna be traded out. Nothing too much. The T's do hold 5 molotovs there, and aggressive positioning from JBY picks up Aro. That's important for them, but traded out by Quinny P. And so it's just like individual mistakes like this. You've got one pick, you don't need to linger around too much. You get one, he just sits in the same position. You either re-aggress, keep going, or you back up and pull back. And he just waits and he gets caught out. But Quinny P picks up Neil. But they're just going to barrel out onto this B site now. No utility needed as Meku just runs out, takes down Cloudy from behind. As the CTs will have to try and find some way back into this round. Find the positioning, but Portal molly down.
I'm going to go down, bringing it into this pretty difficult situation. Portal trying to get aggressive through the Molotov, catch someone off guard, but unfortunately there was really not so much that he could do. Bensky gonna have to back away now as well. Seemingly going for exits. I'm a little bit confused as to the decision making on that one. Eventually gets taken down by Xenon Fire, caught off guard a little bit, but I don't know. That's one of the major things, you know, of watching a lot of Counter-Strike that does tilt me at times. It's kind of run away and save or go for the exits. He was somewhere in limbo there and ends up just losing the AWP for nothing. So it's a little bit weird. And now they are, of course, forced onto this deco, and maybe the AWP here could have been a bit of a difference maker. We'll have to find out and see how close it ends up getting.
Yeah, the decision making here from Portsmouth has not been really impressive. Overpass, it's one of those maps where decisions and movement and positioning is like the vital thing. Aim, obviously, it helps you secure the kills, but it doesn't matter how good your aim is. I believe on Overpass, if your positioning and your map knowledge is great enough, you can outplay the T's as CTs and just be able to work around them and like win rounds by just being better at positioning. But Portsmouth haven't really shown that. They're just I don't even know what they're doing. They're just pugging right now. There doesn't seem to be any communication. They're just chilling. But Neil does take up one, gets traded out, and 4-on-3 CTs try to hold position. But Bensky maybe picks up a kill on the flank, looking around, waiting for Meku. See what he can do here, but Meku just turns around and Portal left in a 1 versus 4, and boxed out the round. And Brunel just comes stomping into this. Bit of a dark horse into this game, don't you think?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you know, like you said, it's definitely not what we were expecting at all. But Portsmouth, I don't know, maybe a little bit of, you know, the god complex kind of coming into it. They feel like they are the favourites. They should easily be able to win this. And then when you start losing silly rounds, or, you know, it becomes very close, it gets very frustrating. You're not really sure what's going on, what's happening. And there you go. That's another frustrating situation. They both spot each other out, but it's Xenon Fire to hit the shot, ultimately bringing it into a 5-on-4 early on in this round. Yet again, Brufessors in the driver's seat, as they have been for a lot of this T half so far. A lot of decisive gun rounds, especially. It seems the anti-ecos they're a little bit closer than they would like, but I remember, you know, it was the, what, like 4-on-2 situation that they won. Great position from JBY, but very quickly traded. Bit overzealous from Aro, though. He gets traded himself. So, I mean, things kind of working out a little bit for Team Portsmouth to get a bit of control back, but a lot of map control gained by Brufessors early on. Okay, that's a little bit messy.
He just runs down.
From Lou. Questionable indeed, but Bensky with a very nice flick, to be fair to him. Now it's going to be down to Portal and the rest of the CTs, who very quickly rotated in, actually, off the back of that information to hold down this B site, and there you go. The crossfires are perfect. Quinny P does manage to take down Portal, but I don't think he's going to be too long for this world. Got the bomb in the hand, but doesn't really have all that much information available to him. That one smoke could be a bit of a difference maker, though. It does clear the vision, or block the vision, I should say, of Team Portsmouth.
CT's isolated there, but oh my, that's a nice shot coming out through the smoke as the Molotov gets thrown. He just sees traces of another one and picks up 2 through the smoke, and that's a 2 versus 1. Quiddy P picks up that he shouldn't really have done. That smoke really just secured them the round, as it just boxed off the Portsmouth players, and they didn't know what to do there. And they should have just been patient, wait for that bomb hunt, and then just regress. But I have a feeling this Portsmouth team are fully tilted right now. The communication, look, it's gone. They're just pugging. They're just going for individual plays, but it's not really working out for them. They haven't got the aim at the moment. They just try to pug it out, and Cloud and Portal just go aggressive from connector in short waters. They can pick up 2 themselves, but Aro just goes back, and it's so sloppy here as everyone's just pugging it out. I don't know if we've joined a level 7 face-it pug right now. Everyone's just trying to take angels. They just don't care anymore. So they're just going at it.
A bit all over the place, isn't it?
It's a bit of a brawl right now.
And there you go. Anti-climax in the end. Lou just out-positioning, ultimately. Portal catches him with the clean headshot.
It's 9-0. Who could have expected this? Who could have expected
this? We were like, listen, Portsmouth, they've got all these level 10 players. They're pretty sick on paper. It should be easy enough for them. Brunel, we don't know a great deal, but we're not expecting too much. Maybe they can get a few rounds on the board, but they have just absolutely walked all over their opponents here. I think maybe individually it's kind of difficult to tell because it's more of a team issue here that Portsmouth, like we've said, you know, just seem very tilted. Coming into it feeling like maybe, yes, we are the favourites, this should be easy, disrespecting their opponents, and they're all just getting annoyed now. You can tell all these angels they're taking.
Look at Meku there. He just runs through that, runs through a smoke and just immediately domes. But Portal does trade out, and what happens here is Brunel, they know the positions that the CTs are most likely going to be playing in, and they just swing the angles. They win some of the duels, they lose some of the duels. But as a T side, if you're going to win, if you're going to go 4-on-4 against a low economy CT side, then you're going to be coming into an advantage, and Meku just supports the player out close. Spam coming down onto Bensky doesn't do as much damage as Meku wanted, and so we'll see how it plays out. But Portsmouth, I don't know what they're doing here. Bensky going for a solo play with the orb there, caught off guard by Xenon, not even traded out by Neil here, and Portsmouth, they've lost this mental game right now. They're winning some angels, and Neil's trying to carry it back for them, but Lou left in a 1 versus 2 now. Try to see how he can play this. He's got bomb in hand, 35 seconds, just go smoke off the plant. Secure that for his team. 9-0 up. It doesn't matter if he wins this. He wants to do as much damage as he can and see if he can kind of tilt the CC players even more. But he's going to hide back, and the JBY should get
no way.
Oh, so tight. Oh, how does he win that? Oh,
God, man.
Jesus Christ.
It's just all over the place from Portsmouth right here. The hold comes in. There's no protection from the second player at all. Lou's just easily able to wide peek on it. And then just kind of caught out in the open. You know, again, that's coming down to sort of the mental game. Because there is sometimes, you could be like the best aimer in the world, but if you're just not feeling it, your spray just isn't connecting, or, you know, just not on point with the aim, because I feel like it is a lot like, I suppose, the MMA. There's a lot of mental game comes into CS. It's not quite as easy as coming onto the server and just clicking heads, even though you can easily go and, you know, fight bots or go into DMs and do that.
It
It's
is
really
looking
not
like a
that
bit of an
simple.
MMA fight right now, as Brunel have got Portsmouth in some sort of chokehold, just waiting for them
Brutal.
to tap out. As they're all just getting like beat down on right now, and there's nothing Portsmouth can really do. They've got no rounds. This round's looking well in the favour of Brunel. The Cloudy's just all the way in T-spawn, just looking to run back to the site that they've planted on. He's got to secure himself all 3 kills to be able to defuse it, and he hasn't even got a kit, so this round's looking kind of over for him already. So, Portsmouth, I don't know what they have to do. What they have to do is call all 4 of their tactical timeouts back to back and just talk it out. Maybe say the first words as Aro just shuts down Cloudy's. I'm sure if they call all 4 tactical timeouts, 0 words will be said in their Discord call.
Yeah, for sure.
They're beyond tilted right now. There's no teamwork. There's no. All you have to do is just go. All right, I know the T players here. Bensky, can you flash for me? Cloudy, can you flash for me? Flash comes in. You kill the T. You back off. Don't need to get traded. And there we go. It's easy as that. But Portsmouth, there's no communication. There's no teamwork. All they try to do is take Angels. And they are able to pick up a couple, but they're losing every clutch situation they get themselves put in. And Bensky gets taken down with the AWP and traded out by Portal. And there we go. 15 seconds into the round, 4 versus 4 favors the T side. The CTs have no utility to really work with, and all these T players have a smoke and a molly left. And so we'll see what they can do with it here.
I think they must just be, kind of annoyed at each other, like we say, internally. Because I don't see any other way. Like we've alluded to, on paper, these Portsmouth guys should have the skill to at least put up a better fight than this.
Yeah,
maybe we can hand it to Brufessors. We've seen, a lot of teams at the upper echelons of Counter-Strike team play can kind of trump raw skill sometimes, and maybe that's a little bit of what's going on here, but we'll see.
I think Portsmouth
has traded
can
one
get
back.
the first round here. Quinny P does give his position
maybe.
away on the side. I believe.
We've seen them throw rounds like this in the past.
T's are going to regroup up and go towards A here, but I have a feeling this is a position like they can work with. The CTs have no utility still though, which is a huge factor. And Ara's looking to re-aggress onto that B site, but Neil just swings out, does drop Quinny P, and now it's left in a 4 versus 2. So winnable for them. The most winnable round they've had, and now it's left with Xenon in a 1 versus 4. And he actually doesn't win it. And now Portsmouth pick up their first round. I'm
the slow clap. Slow clap.
Xavier, their teammates left. He had no faith in
right,
him.
1 round, I'm done. That's all I want.
It's like, you're gonna lose this round again? Alright, I'm out. Peace. They haven't called a timeout?
What is going on? What is going on at the Portsmouth camp?
They don't know.
Honestly.
Oh, they don't know.
You just got like 2 guys deafened, tilted out of their skulls right now. Not even realised there's a bot.
They don't even know. If I was
Good
Brunel,
God.
I'd be having the time of my life. Just pick up a kill onto the bot. That's a free kill. It's a 5-on-4 already.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the difference here, though, isn't it? Right? Like Portsmouth are just sort of very uptight, very unconfident in a lot of their plays. Portal does manage to get this 2K here, actually. So maybe giving them enough credit, they've managed to win a couple back, and even with the bot.
If this becomes a 10-5 half, if Portsmouth win this game now.
Well, he can't. Brunel's got 11, so there is that. There is that.
If Portsmouth win this game, though, I'm gonna have to retire.
Fair enough.
This is beyond like normal. How have you got a round where you've got a bot on your team and you're still getting the first 3-4 entries into a round? The T's they're not even capitalizing off this positional advantage where the CTs can't even get as much map control because they're already 80% of the team, and Quinny P's turned this 1-on-4 into a 1-on-5, 1-on-4, 1-on-5 to a 2 versus 1 right now, and the CTs are split between sites, so he's able to find 1-on-1 duels onto each site, win them. But Carly's gonna have to back off here. He's scared.
Yeah, there's not very much time remaining though.
Oh, you gotta go fast now. Just gets tagged down when running to the side.
I think that's it. That's it. Yeah, the tag on
Nice.
towards the site from Cloudy is all that was required. When that smoke goes down, he goes for that
Here we
early
go.
peak.
Bot Xavier, he has an AUG. They're not gonna call a pause.
Maybe he like
Bensky, he's off the team.
Yeah, Bensky. That's it. I was gonna say.
He's done for. Xavier is.
I don't know. Maybe he's just
the
full on rage quit. He's not actually disconnected. He's just
if this is how this like very promising Portsmouth team dies in game 2 of week 1, then it'll be very sad. I know a lot of the players in the university scene all were very kind of worried about this Portsmouth team coming in. They see the levels to go. There's 2 players, like 2800 elo, 3 ESCA main players, 4 level 10s, a level 8. They're all so worried that like this team could just come in, individually pug it out, and just win. Brunel shutting them down here, Port with a nice angle onto Lou. But everyone thought Portsmouth was the team to watch. And they've kind of bottled it already. I mean, they can't even get all 5 players in a server.
Well, Portal didn't even like pull the trigger there. I think he's a bit confused as to what team he's on at this point. But I mean, we'll see. Maybe they're able to recover a little bit back. The joy of having the bot, I guess, you can get very aggressive, pick up some early information, maybe some early kills, and then you can get straight back onto the bot.
Yeah.
That's what Neil does. And there you go. Portal going to be picking up another kill. Pretty nice. He's been quite effective on this AWP in the past few rounds.
A Unihub game with Portal yesterday. He didn't do too well particularly. He did go, I think, 0-9 with a. He went 1-9 with a team kill. But Brunel, Meku just runs out onto that B site and. How are Portsmouth picking up rounds with a bot? This is.
Bensky was the problem. I mean,
Bensky was the problem. I don't know what he brought to this team. Whether it was he just sits in Discord and flaming
just
and gets that negative energy out of the Discord.
You missed one spray down.
Have you seen what gun Meku has? Who even plays with the Tech 9 now?
Oh god. They're losing to this. To be frank, I don't want to flame them too hard, alright, but...
They have managed to break the economy of the T side and force them onto a force buy.
True.
At the end of the half.
It was looking pretty bad, you know, it was 11-0, but...
Oh, JBY misses shot there, does get tied down, but like... I don't know what's going on in this game. This is sloppy game. He just runs into nade... He runs around with the corner, Lou with a Mac 10 out, just spamming down. Full blind.
Okay. I'll bring it up after this round, but have some info if you've been paying attention to the chat. Either way, Aro going to take down JBY. It seems the 11-4 half is kind of a little bit broken. They're getting some trades here and there, but it's very quickly dealt with. Decent post-plant positions coming in from the T's quite easily, so things looking pretty good. And again, 1-for-1 trading, all on to Cloudy. Does manage to take down Lou with the final bullet. Got to take the rest of the kills, though, with his Deagle, and that's easier said than done, especially on low HP, especially with the very, very passive positions that they're taking. The best he can hope for is this Ninja Defuse.
He's shot to 1. Oh, he's got it.
But he does get taken down. Meku eventually in with the Tech 9. We flamed him a little bit for it. But yeah, so for those of you maybe not paying attention to the chat or whatever, it seems Bensky has got an ESEA game. I'm not sure how true that is, but someone said that.
People have been saying they're 3 ESCA main players, and sometimes this does happen.
Indeed, yeah.
I have with Edgehill last year or last spring, with Jake Zoomin before his drop out of fame with his Face It ban. He did have to dodge for an ESCA main game. So RIP Jake Zoomin. He did try. But he won't get that far. As the T side are just running out onto this B side. No respect here. They're just pugging out 4 versus 5. They're just gonna body all the CTs as is left in a 3-on-2. Aro, he's middle of B site, and now Lou on the flank. He's got all to do. 1 versus 3. And Neil just runs out, clothesline him there. USP silencer straight down his throat. Scriv, what is going on this game? It's been a roller coaster of emotions.
Hey, we're about to find out. Bot Xavier with the 200 IQ play in that pistol round, not buying up anything, so he knew his team was going to win. Now he's got an SG.
It's actually
not going to be
super
expecting
good.
this. Yeah, not going to be expecting this at all.
Because
But there's not much utility actually. One thing, you know, we are kind of memeing about a little bit, but there's 3 rifles out here for Portsmouth. They don't have a great deal of utility. They're just looking to take the aim jewels. You know, Portal's got 600 in the bank and not spent any of it, so it's a little bit questionable. Meku, not a fan of the CZ, it would seem, as he's also got a 5.7, which I think is a little bit more viable than having the Tech 9 for sure.
yeah,
Bot Xavier, oof. Yeah, changed his mind there. He was pushing in through Monster, but he decided.
I feel the nerf that Tech 9 went through is really kind of hurt how it's used. It went from being the gun that is bought on every force buy for every T player to a gun that is only picked up if you've not equipped the CZ by accident. Like,
yeah,
the Tech 9, I've never seen it used really recently. The 5.7, I've seen more players try to pick up using it. It's still quite a viable weapon, but the T's just go bottle out onto the A site, and the CT players with this B stack really hasn't worked out for them. But Oro does trade out into Neil. Portal's looking to lurk around, but the bomb has been dropped here. And Oro, he's got an aggressive positioning, and he doesn't really know here. And Neil's gonna take him down on the bot, going for that avenge on himself. But nice little headshot coming out onto Portal. Xenon again with the deagle. So T side securing this B site, looking to draw out this game even longer. 12-4 half or 11-4 half. Was it 11-4? 12-3? 12-3.
Yeah, I think it was 12-3, wasn't it? But either way, Portsmouth buying themselves, you know, a bit more of that dignity back. It's a very similar situation to our previous game, where they just had to chill for a little bit on the T side in that case. But Brufessors on the CT side, I don't know. I mean, for me, I think Overpass, especially when you've got the confidence in Tail, can ultimately, if you're more effective as a team, be CT-sided. But because of those really, really strong individuals who we've got on Portsmouth, we could actually see things flip on its head quite quickly here. And they could have, you know, 1 or 2 players just take the game into their own hands. I think a lot of us that know the team would maybe have expected one of those players to be Bensky, but obviously he's not here. I think the bot is a little bit less detrimental on the T side as well, as long as you've got someone telling it to wait. Although, for me, as someone who plays like a lot of matchmaking, one of my biggest gripes about this game, why is there an option on the bot for it to like ignore your commands? Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, come on.
I don't understand the bot commands. I think the whole bot mechanic is a bit broken, especially when you move up the ranks into CS. You don't. When you do have a bot on your team, it's pretty much a lost game. And I don't expect Portsmouth to kind of really win this game, but with the individual aim and the individual skill, they can kind of just win their own individual angels and kind of just entry onto site. If they lose out one, they can just take the bot, re-aggress. And so it's not the worst situation they've been in, but they've definitely kind of shot themselves in the leg by having Bensky drop out. But I think when he did drop out, they started picking up rounds, didn't they? So
yeah,
I can't really say much here. This is not your typical game. You don't see like a lot of teamwork. You don't see a lot of coordination. No set executes. Instead, we have a bot with an XM 1014 and a lot of just individual plays just going out. Xenon Fire is try hold for a bit of like the aggressive angles, as T's do get short water control. But CT's on their first buy round, no utility really for them, and their economy is very low. So if Portsmouth do win this, they're going to be able to crack the economy and get themselves really close. I think. Portal taking a while to line up, possibly the easiest heaven smoke. You just throw it at that area and it'll land. Xenon Fire just caught open. Just trade him out, looking for a second, but MP5 in hand and asp. One of the first kills I've seen with that in Mule. Oh, Paul puts him down, buries him with the XM.
That's so unfortunate. There's a timing as well for Aro. He just pulled out a nade. I think maybe the range advantage could have suited him, but unfortunately doesn't. There will be another kill picked up as well by Portsmouth, and this is kind of what we were talking about, the individual talent that they've got available to them. All going to be on towards Loot. Pick up the first, but not quite the second. A little bit unfortunate there. Yeah, it's nasty. I think it's from the bot, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I do enjoy using the SG.
It's good fun.
It is good fun. People think it's a bad gun. It's statistically pretty much exactly the same as the AK, except it has a scope and costs 300 more. So if your economy is kind of boasting and you're able to use the gun, I don't see why not. But we'll see how they can go into this round, as the CTs did buy up a bunch of nades and they're just not even using them effectively. I think Xenon did about 100 damage with a nade onto his own teammates, but they've got 2 kills into this round. Neil's just going to use that MP5 to full effectiveness, farming the cash off of Brunel, as Neil takes down another with a Glock. And I don't know how Xenon managed to nade his own team that late on into there. They backed off from Fountain. They're just sitting around. Xenon's just throwing a nade to his teammate and just hoping he could kick it back into them. But another buy round coming out for Brunel. 12-8 is the scoreline. Again, Portsmouth. I think Brunel are getting a bit worried now.
Yeah, definitely. And these rounds have been pretty decisive, right, from Portsmouth. They've really regained control. It's not just that they've maybe had some nasty clutches coming in or whatever. It has been pretty decisive. And with this bot, that's very surprising indeed. They're able to just walk all over Brufessors' CT side. But there it is, the one round, but Xavier, he decides, you know what, I'm going to do what I want. Yeah, and he gets taken down. So there goes. He's actually done
66 damage onto Aro.
Yeah, to be fair, it's not bad. It's not bad. But there goes that kind of, they can't rush in, lose a player, go back on the bot. They do have to play things from the deficit that we would expect them to have with that bot in play. So things firmly in the hands of Brufessors. Here we go. As soon as things start to get a little bit closer, sometimes teams can start to panic. CT's coming out on top, but only just. This next fight going to be very important indeed. JBY lost the wrong way at the wrong time. Xenon, a bit awkward to not pick up that one faster. It did look a little bit weird there, but into a 3-on-1 nonetheless. Bomb available for Cloudy. Clean little headshot onto Quinny P. And a bit of control on the B side that I don't think he quite realizes he actually has. It's going to be the 2-man flank. Cloudy, like I say, is very unaware of this. Back turned, making a fair amount of noise, trying to slowly clear out the B-bomb site, and there you go. Even if he'd have picked up the first kill, it would have been an easy trade. And the 13th round finally found for Brufessors, and I think this is one of those situations, as soon as they refine their confidence, they refine their groove, they should just be able to clean things up, or so you would think.
Bensky wasn't the problem. Bot Xavier is the savior. He's just carrying him and losing. Bot Xavier dying that round kind of lost Portsmouth that round, and so that just shows how much of an impact this bot has on their team. But Brufessors playing that 2 versus 1 really well, using that buddy system, coming out monsters together and just being able to both swing, both trade out, not being able to let Portsmouth isolate the 1 versus 1s. And so we'll see Brunel take a 13-8 lead as Portal just squeeze out a headshot onto Aro just in the nick of time, as he is put down to 9 HP, and now Neil takes down Lou. And Portsmouth looking for another round, but Quinny P takes 2 for himself. Leaves in a 2 versus 3, but his Meku takes down from T-spawn. He knows the bot is AFK. And so Xenonfire just left alone on this A site. Picks up Neil, and it's a 1 versus 1 on this A site, waiting for Meku to rotate in. But it doesn't matter, Xenonfire just steps out, cleans up, and teabags onto Portsmouth. And you know what? The Heimlich maneuver has been applied, as they do kind of stop themselves choking so much. They know that they have to play with no respect.
That's a good one.
If you give a bot so much, or a team with a bot so much like map control, you just essentially just allow the team to play like normal.
Yeah, exactly.
With 4 players holding defaults. But if you
play their own game, really.
Yeah, if you take the aggression, you can just shut down the bot. If you even just push T-spawn, you know he's going to be there. You know he's holding the position, and you know they can't really hold defaults too well. And if they are, they're only going to have 1 man near that area. And so if you just go buddy system and trade out, You can just secure yourself map control so easily. Is JBY just tried to dodge some bullets around that smoke? CTs, they have got full rifles and an MP9. Not the best of buys for them, but the T side are also on a bit of a lackluster buy, but they have got that AWP. Portal just shut down RO coming out of connector, I think. But see what they can do here. As Portsmouth look to just run out onto that B side, but Xavier leading the charge doesn't get the entry.
He went for the good look 360. Unfortunately, it didn't really
He's hard
work out for him.
Angles.
Oh, Meku as well, picking up another 2 kills, brilliantly found, as he just hops in between both the angles. Blue as well, getting the confidence to find another, and Neil tries to do what he can. I think the flash worked out, but got taken down by the blind spray, and it will be 15-8. 7 match points for Brufessors. Unfortunately, now this bot is becoming a little bit more of a detriment, as I think he ran in with the bomb there as well. So they kind of have to commit
without
to the
the control of the bot, he just runs in, gives up that pick, gives up the game. The rotation's in, he gets shut down, the whole push gets shut down. The T side are on some sort of a weird buy. 2 Mac 10s, 2 deals. Bot Xavier with their own the AK into this round, so they're just gonna look to die quickly, trade out. Hopefully just pick up that AK and use it to enter onto here. As Aro and Quinny P just gets picked up immediately. Neither of them able to pick up a kill, but Neil taken down to 24. So they have now secured themselves 2 M4s here. And the site. And the CT's just gonna all rotate together. Nobody coming from connector. No chance of a flank. They're just gonna try and maybe barrel onto the site, see if they can get any early entries. Let's go decide whether they kind of save into this round. Nice little boost though from Xenonfire, picks over Neil over the wall. That's a boost from JBY and Cloudy, shuts them down. Portsmouth fight, that's a nice boost, but ours is more of a meme.
Indeed. It's a bit of a catch-off position. Nice shot from Portal in the end there to pick up Xenonfire. So they do very quickly answer back. I think it's going to sort of wreck the economy of Brufessors. They're a little bit all over the place. Xenonfire and Meku have got loads of money. Everybody else certainly feeling the burn. So it is just going to be a bit of a quasi-buy coming in, it would seem. So Portsmouth with a solid opportunity to mount up a few more rounds, maybe get back into the action, get back into a chance of winning this one. Again, not quite in the position of believing, and it plays out beautifully. It is, of course, an ace stack. Meku does pick up one, to be fair to him, even though it was Molotov'd out. But I would feel this is probably going to be the round over. There's no kits available. There's no utility. It's going to be a pretty difficult retake for the CT side here. They've already lost 1 player. Another falling. Low HP on
they're
the
all getting shut down.
Indeed.
I don't think this force buyer coming out from Brunel was the smartest of ideas. The stack does help secure that or increase their chances of winning the round, but you know, 15-9 up. You don't want to kind of damage your economy and jump in. Deagle shot dodges some bullets and lands and puts him down, but the force buy I don't think it's really necessary to help kind of improve their chance of winning it. Obviously, if they win the force buy, they'll win the game, but the look at their economy is so low now. They could have just saved a bit more, bought a bit more utility, helped to increase their chances of winning this buy round. And it doesn't matter about the economy of the T side, because all you need is 1 round. So you just gotta keep playing that money game. And if you force buying every time you can, it's just gonna hurt you in the long run if you can't secure these buy rounds. So what they can do here is that the ball of T is just taking down Aro, just unable to get an entry again. But Quinny P is behind, looking to duel onto long, but JBY takes him down, but nothing more that Brunel can do here. They're gonna have to save. Lose just maybe look to pick up one of the rifles, but if they go for this and lose this AWP especially, then it'd be a bit of a misplay from them. But they are looking to back out now.
Definitely, yeah, for sure. I mean, there is going to be a pause coming in. I've got chat turned off. Give me a second. I'm not 100%. Do they not have to type in chat? Is it a bit more of a client thing? I've never actually played in the Newell, I have to be honest.
All the pauses for the Newell are just going to go through the console, not the console,
okay.
like an MM, but
right.
for
right, like a zone. Yeah.
Is you're allowed 4 30-second long pauses.
Okay.
So it's very similar to how they do it at pro level.
Yeah, for sure.
Except, obviously, the coaching
it
rule
tells
isn't really
it tells
commented
us. Yeah, it does tell us. To be fair, though, that's what I was worried about a little bit, because sometimes it can be a bit hard to guess who has called pauses on certain platforms. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit difficult at the moment. Portsmouth are, again, using that individual talent in these past few rounds, just rushing straight into the face of Brunel, and it seems to be working out. They catch off that one or two players early on, and then they just work the advantage. They just work the control that they get from those early kills. Brufessors really need to either A, figure out some kind of a sound passive setup, or B, an aggressive style of their own to pick up some early picks of their own going into a rifle round. Otherwise, Portsmouth are just going to be able to keep steamrolling them. Kind of the classic Virtus plow from back in the day. The T sides that we do see a lot of teams are very easily able to pull out.
But this all was looking to be kind of Brunel's saving light in this round, but Xenonfire is alone, isolated, as the T's have picked up that first entry. Cardi dropped low, but it's an easy round for them, as Xenon's probably going to have to look to save this up now, but he's got to run away for a good more 40 seconds, as he is looking to get closer to the T's rather than further away, which is not the thing you want to do when you try to save an AWP. But 15-12 now, looking into this next round. Xenonfire hoping to save this up. He kind of has to if he wants to give his team a better chance of winning. But it's coming very close. And if you're Brunel, you gotta be you gotta be upset with your performance. You take a resounding 12-3 lead in the first half. They're on a bot. And you've lost 9 rounds. You're going 9-3 in this half currently. You're on match point, but Portsmouth have all the momentum going into these last couple of rounds, and they're looking to take it into overtime.
Definitely, they're firmly in the driver's seat at this point, but it is obviously a question. Brufessors just need to get the one round. That's all they need. They just need one good strategy, one early pick, one mistake even from Team Portsmouth.
But JBY, that's a nice headshot. Quinny P getting shut down on that Astralis boost. They know that Haro may be close because obviously you will have boosted up the place, but the T side taking it 10-20 seconds into the round. They've already got a pick. They've got so much map control. JBY drops down another. Haro's not even turned around. As JBY gets 3 entries into the round, looking for a 4th, and Xenonfire just whiffs the AWP shot, and JBY is just like, hang on, I didn't realize that they're playing 4 on A. There's a Meku who's just left in a 1 versus 5. He's gonna have to save. He can't. And you know what? Portsmouth, they've just straight up bodied them in that round. JBY spearheaded that one. What more can you do?
But again, it's working off those early picks, and then because they have that advantage, it's free for him to just get aggressive and move in towards the site and just take them all down.
But they're going for a force fight here. Xenonfire on 4.75k already. Could have bought a bit more into this round. Maybe could have even dropped the pistols to his teammates so they can have utility coming into the next round. But they've gone for a hard B stack, and I like that. Because they know, Brunel know that Portsmouth have been kind of rushing onto these sites. And so they know that if they stack, they have a good chance that Portsmouth won't really check if it's a stack and just carry on barreling on, try to use their aim to win out. But this round, Portsmouth has seemed to have slowed down, taken that A long control, just going to work towards A. This bot Xavier holds that B flank like a pro, but they have told him to come. Oh, Portsmouth, they're an expert at utilizing this bot to the best potential.
Yeah, certainly. They've worked with him a fair amount, it would seem. But here we go, making their way in towards the A site. A little bit of a close execute, as it were, on this one. There was a lot of players already on the site before these smokes and molotovs went down. I'm not quite sure of that wallbang, to be honest, but the bomb plant going to be coming in. A little bit rare that we see this. 10 players still alive, as I think the CT's all hope is kind of lost. They're just looking to get a few exits if they can on this one. They have a few players that are undamaged. Will get slightly cheaper head armor into the next round. Meku was one of them, though, and goes down there. That is a bit weird. I think he clicked his right mouse button and not the left mouse button there. But nonetheless, it will be the round going the way of
I hate when I get my fingers
side.
mixed up.
Yeah, me too. I don't know.
It
who
happens-
knows?
it
Maybe
happens
he's a bit
to
of
the
a
rest of us.
freak and he uses like one finger on both of them.
To be
Who
fair,
knows?
my
Some players probably do that.
my teammate Kieran Q, he does use spacebar as attack 2, which is
Wow, that is a bit
it's a
weird.
bit of an odd
That is a
one.
bit- Yeah.
But Xenon Fire, he had so much money, he could have bought up and up there for any of his teammates, but he doesn't choose to, and they've gone for the 0 or 1 Molotov out of all 5 players, which is also a very curious fire because Molotovs have been kind of like the pinnacle of CSGO. They've been the utility piece that is the most impactful, in my opinion. You can shut down a push, you can shut down aggression, you can secure like anything with a Molotov. But Lou, aggressive on long, playing close, and Paul
Really
could
wants to
be
go
caught off
around this
guard.
corner.
Oh, he should do it. If he wants to win, he's gotta win. They're playing to not lose right now. They're not playing to win.
Exactly, that's very true. Got to go balls to the wall.
He's
Maybe
just
the
gotta go
longer he
in and
waits.
deep.
But
But Quinn EP. Oh, he just loses out on that trade, and too many players have Portal swings the angle, traded out. Lou has it all to do here, as he is fighting by the lose. He's just trapped between a rock and a hard place right now as the T's have boxed him in. He's just using all his utility to get out. The T's are just gonna surround him. And Neil, he's just got such crisp aim. He just swings around that smoke and just drops him down. And now it's 3 versus 4, 30 seconds on the clock. So the CTs have bought themselves a lot of time playing slowly around that aggressive aim control. But look at the T's, they're just going down connector. They're just going to bombard out onto that B site. Meku here alone just gets traded out, and that's unfortunate for him as the T's going to have to rotate down. Big Nate coming out. Can they stop this plant? Can they deny it? Can they help win? Big Nate going to come out, but a bit too late. Just drop down Cloudy. Now the scene on fire just going to be boxed off as Aro eats a big Kobe of himself. Now left in a 2 versus 2. No utility really on the sides of the T's except that one smoke. Flash getting used out for the CTs to help allow them onto that B site. They are looking to go up as Aro whiffs the spray. JBY swinging out around that pillar and there. Now is there fire. Kind of the shining lights get shut down. And now it's overtime. How have they managed to pull that back, Scriv?
It's crazy, to be fair. Great bot usage, which I don't think is something that I've ever really said in a CS game before.
Yeah.
They really did pick him up, work it well, making sure that he didn't die too early on. And obviously the system here going to be... How do you term to say it? See, I go with MR6 16k, right? So
I
like the
go
max rounds.
MR3 16k.
Yeah. I think this is sort of something that's a little bit under
It's a bit
contention.
confusing.
Yeah. Thankfully, we
the-
don't have like MR5 anymore or MR10. that we used to have
I'll
a little
remember
while
the
ago.
classic Face It, free Face It in the good back old days where it was MR5 16k. You'd hit a OT, half your team would leave, half their team would leave.
Yeah.
You'd hit double OT, another player would leave on both sides. You'd hit triple, and then one of your team would leave, and then they'd win.
Yeah.
Uh,
The good
lot of
old
chat
days.
going on. Can we? We have 2.
What are they asking? Hold on.
They're asking for a sub.
Okay.
We're gonna have to send our resident admin ad.
Indeed. Jesus.
But
JBY is
know.
hitting all the macros at the moment that he's got. CSGO is too hard for you, mate. Maybe consider a game that requires less skill, like, I don't know, Solitaire. These are quite...
just-
Server
they-
CMAR SV_rect changed to 1. It's a little bit...
To be fair, that one has been
Of a
enabled. As that
yikers.
bot's come in, I think a start
Yeah,
I've been
that's very
given is
true.
11-0 without Xavier. 4-15. Let's say the other way around. So basically, as soon as Bensky's left, this Portsmouth side is kind of toggled on. Neil leading the way with 30 kills. just kind of like helping the team out. Just on that CT side when they were losing so hard, you did see him getting multiple like rounds where he got triple kills on the entry, but just losing out in the clutches. And now they're able to win those clutches, and so Portsmouth are looking very strong here, as they are looking to do something. They used all their tactical timeouts before initiating a technical timeout, so I think we will just wait and see what's happening. But you know what? This game has been a bit of a mess. I don't know.
Yeah, to be fair,
Brunel,
it looks
they've
close.
choked.
It looks exciting, but like, it is just kind of Portsmouth, especially in that second half, like, just steamrolling. Really, Brufessors so nervous. We just kind of saw it. I think was it in the last round. It was like Lou on long. He was just a bit all over the place. He wasn't sure of where to look, where to hold, what to do. He was just using his utility randomly. They're definitely very, very panicked by this turn of affairs on the Brufessors side of things.
Yeah. We'll move into the game soon, as they do look to have got a sub in. I don't know if that's allowed or not.
Why?
Who knows?
You know?
It's been working out with Xavier. I don't know why they're kind of like they're giving up on him now. He's done so well.
Exactly.
They worked themselves into overtime.
By the wayside.
They've just put him under the bus. And so we're just going to see a couple of trades coming out as JB's just kind of steps up into his own. And so we'll see what happens. As you know, Brunel, they've already gone down 2 picks. Portal lost on the T side. Hasn't been the most impactful player for them, bottom fragging for them, but it's kind of close spread of 30 to 19 kills on the T side. On the CT side, it's all very close. 22 is the highest, 18 is the lowest. So all of Brunel are performing. It's just like on Portsmouth's side that Neil is just outperforming his other teammates with JBY. Try to keep up. But, you know, the T side, they've got those 2 entries. They're just going to play it slow. They don't want to throw this round away like Brunel threw that other half away. So,
yikes.
JBY just going to cause a bit of distraction on that B site, as we will see Quinny P just rotate around a little bit. As the A hit is just going to run out, and Cloudy drops down Quinny P as Meku drops down the lurker on JBY. And that's the 2 versus 3. A site fully in control of the T side, as they're going to plant reverse default and going to get aggressive. And this is smart play from them, knowing how much map control they have to work with, knowing that A site is clear. They're just going to push up for now. Cloudy does drop 1, then on fire looking to spam down Cloudy low. Does press E on a nade. Yeets it straight away. As he has picked up the AK now, the gun that he wanted. But not really much he can work with here. As he gets a nice headshot, just sees the tip of his helmet. And Neil, the worst position ever. And he does manage to pick up that kill.
Would have been pretty difficult. I think he could have maybe held it there, to be fair. But a bit unfortunate, I suppose. Here we are, though. First round of the overtime goes the way of Portsmouth. I mean, continuing that momentum that they had in regulation. We'll have to see. I think there is a little bit of contention as to whether this sub is actually allowed. So
yeah.
Maybe find out as things go on. Try and let you know. I think looking at what Des posted in the chat, it seems they may well have broken some terms of service.
We'll see. The admin is in the server and is looking over the rule set right now to kind of decide what's going to happen. But
I mean, I don't know. We had a great storyline for Portsmouth. Now it just seems that, you know, they're winning a conventional 5-on-5 that everybody expected them to get.
Xavier allowed a bot on LAN? Just turn up to LAN. 4 players, yeah? Can we have bot Xavier on our team?
He was pretty class. He was pretty good. So
to be fair, the mentality they had when playing with them, with the bot, was a lot better than what they. It's true though.
With Bensky.
Yeah, because with Bensky, they were all just pugging. They all were just like, kind of like, oh yeah, 5-on-5.
You could tell they were like clearly arguing, a little bit more concerned with that than the actual game. Nice little 1-for-1 trade though to open
focus going on his ESEA main game. He's probably not really even caring about this new game, which kind of is a reason why they maybe were underperforming. He's just like, well, I'm just playing this while I wait. But Cloudy with a nice little flick headshot onto Meku, so they're just going to storm out onto the B site. As Portal shuts down Zen on fire and Quinny P left in a 1 versus 4. All he can do is hope for a 300 damage nade, and it's going to do 8. Which is
classic CSGO.
Unfortunate for him, he didn't have a bigger grenade, as he will try and maybe back off with this wall. But
Ooh,
how is that flick shot not killed? Oh,
did it tag him?
I think it's tagged him through the pole.
Yeah, that's a bit nasty. That's a bit of a shit. Quinny P getting angry, getting desperate. How does that not kill him, he's saying. And he's going for the repeaks. Ends up losing his life in the end there. And that's could be a little bit of a difference maker. I mean, he's not got a great deal of money. We'll be able to buy up into this one. Maybe Aro can drop him across so he can get a solid buy, but apparently not. Apparently not. But that's fair enough, I suppose. It's really not looking too good here for Brufessors. You know, even without this controversial sub, I think it was going the way of Portsmouth ultimately. So much momentum, so much confidence. Brufessors ultimately have lost the game as opposed to Portsmouth winning it. Not to take away from Portsmouth, but we can expect this from the caliber of players that they've got. It's more so the fact that Brufessors is just so very nervous, giving them far too much control, even though they had the bot in play. It's really a messy CT half from them, and it's carried on through into the overtime.
Yeah, we saw some hope come back for Brufessors as they did pick up 3 rounds in a row to put them onto match point, but they just lost that footing again. This Portsmouth T side is just carries so much weight. They're just swinging at him, just going at him full force as Meku does drop down.
Ooh.
Portal. Now it's left in a 2 versus 1. The round is going back in the favor of Brunel.
You know what they call that? I think they call it the caster's curse, maybe. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
You get a beautiful angle. You can just see Meku there. J-Breeze, the sub,
out.
trying to make his way in towards the B site. It is clear, unbeknownst to him. But I'm sure they're not afraid to allow the bomb to go down on the CT side of things. Still, though, it will eventually get planted. There's kits available, bit of utility as well across the board for these 2 CTs. The AWP going to be a bit awkward as they've not fully dedicated to the rotate. I think they wanted to make sure it was definitely that B site. Meku now just needs to wait patiently as in comes Zen on fire. Flash going to go in towards Monster. No one really to act up on it, though. Molotov, not really sure what that is for the CZ, though. Zen on fire will find it as another messy round comes in from both sides. But finally, Brufessors are able to get around back onto the board. 17-16. They soften the blow slightly in that first half of overtime. And for those of you that maybe don't know how it works, it is 19 required to take the win and 18 apiece to take us to another overtime. So Portsmouth only require 2, and if they get 1, you know, that pressure is going to be eased off their shoulders somewhat. But here we go. This is where Brufessors were more dominant. Let's see if their T side here in the second half of overtime is just as dominant as it was in the first half of regulation.
Yeah, you got to be quite happy as Brunel to secure yourself at least 1 round on that CT side. You kind of have a little bit to work with now. You're not already set on match point. It's the just aggressive Portsmouth CT side. They're just plugging out, but Quinny P with a nice little double spray down. Shuts it down. Doesn't realize there's one more as Portal kind of trades out there. 2 versus, or 2 2v2 traders. Meku gets a nice headshot to J-Breeze. Just that sub coming in, not really working out too well for them at the moment. But Xavier would have got that kill, I think. This JBY just crouches down into Aro, shuts it down. You know, Brunel get 1 pick, get traded out. They get another pick, they get traded out. It's just like this constant back and forth, working different parts of the map, and this is what I really like to see. Just both teams just fighting at it to kind of keep them back into this even game. But Meku catches JBY in as he jumps into him, but Portal trades out. Now it's left in a 1 versus 1, and Xenonfire has managed to work his way all the way back to T spawn, coming up onto that A site as Portal's just sat still at the bottom of B.
Yeah, a little bit all over the place yet again. But here we are, the bomb making its way over towards A. Portal obviously going to hear this. Everything available to him that he would want, really. Just needs that information. They're going to meet each other very quickly here, and the headshot goes in favour of Portal. Xenonfire not able to react fast enough, and Portsmouth will secure themselves the match point. 2 in a row they've got available to them. There's a beautiful 3K from Portal, and kind of been giving him a little bit of stick. He's been gravitating, I suppose, towards the bottom of the scoreboard for Portsmouth, although now it's, you know, everybody's above 20 frags, other than J-Breeze, obviously. Everybody pulling their weight though. To be
JB's
fair,
has
in
been
this
a bit
game,
underperforming, not really there for 20 rounds, or maybe even more. He wasn't even there for the entire of normal regulation time. But
yeah, I know.
Portsmouth, they're going for this 4B stack, maybe looking for some heavy B short aggression, as they are just gonna barrel out, and Meku's just maybe gonna have to pick up one here. If he gets both, this is gonna be important for him. But he just swings out through the smoke, but Cloudy shuts him down. Meku's space just not quite on point. SJBY has it all to do, picks up the first kill on A. He's gonna have to back up now as he rotates away, looking for a second pick. As the T side, they've lost all momentum. They're fighting so hard to keep themselves into it. Back against the wall, they lose this round, they are out of the game, and they'll have choked it full time. So we'll see what they can do here, as they are trying to work themselves some long control. But Quinny P has got the bomb in hand, could get caught off guard here by JBY if he's not careful. He's working alone with the bomb, and this is not what you want to do.
All going to come down to this. Oh, great angle being held by JBY. Doesn't get too greedy, and it pays off. The timing, as is often the case, works out in his favour. So into a 5-on-2 now. Lou and Zen on Fire being some of the louder names, I suppose, on the Brufessors side. Need to really step it up here, but JBY is just playing it beautifully in this round. Does eventually get traded, not before he picks up 3. Essentially getting this game in the bag. Zen on Fire in a 1-on-5, only able to find the first, as he will eventually get taken down. So 19-16. A lot of that predicated off the back of Bot Xavier, obviously. Really great showing from Portsmouth to come back. Yeah, it was brilliant. And in a flash, he's gone. A little bit unfortunate. Rest in peace. Hopefully we'll see him again sometime. Yeah. But yeah, in all seriousness though, it was a very good comeback from Portsmouth in that 4 versus 5 situation. They just kind of realized that individually they do have the potential to win this game. And then eventually, it becomes they did have the potential, as they had a really decisive T half. Brufessors throwing the game away. Again, we kind of joke about it a little bit, but they really did choke it out there. I think it was like 15-8 at one point. That they should, I think around there, right?
15-9,
it's a little bit. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to tell now because all we see is the overtime scoreboard, ultimately. But yeah, it was essentially should have been their game, right? They drop a couple of rounds, and then they get into the next rifle round, and they should have secured it. But Portsmouth were easily able to come back in and just really give an absolute masterclass on that T side of how to just work your aim, work your individual talent, make sure to get clean trades.
They're just like shouting, I am so much better than you. They're just going in. Oh, you want to take an aim duel? I'll happily take this aim duel. They just go in. They win their 1-for-1s. They win their 1-for-2s even. They're just getting multiple frags on the entry, and they're just going to carry on this momentum, pushing forwards, especially on that T side. Just being able to use that bot to kind of be a backup player. So the players that go in first, they're not scared to die because they have that second life. They're just going to use that momentum to just carry on through, and kind of Brunel just not really utilizing their utility right to shut down that aggressive play, not really able to win their aim duels, and they didn't have the teamwork to kind of adapt to losing out on every aim duel. And so Portsmouth will take it back from a 3-12 half to win a 19-16 overtime game. And GG to Portsmouth. It was sloppy, but they get the win that we thought they would.
Yeah, they got there in the end, and I suppose that's all that counts. It is not so much about the journey in this case, but I do believe that is going to be everything from us this evening to open up the Counter-Strike Winter Championship. Very exciting second game for sure. Like we say, it's a little bit sloppy, but it was interesting. It was good fun to watch. Having the bot in there makes it good fun. And unfortunately for Brufessors, they have a little bit to work on in terms of the choking game, which even teams at the upper levels of Counter-Strike struggle with. So it is fair enough to them. They gave a very good showing, but should really have closed it out there in regulation. Bit unfortunate, but like I say,
I think Brunel will have to work on the high maneuver for next week. Obviously, the big choke coming out for them.
Yeah,
we'll see if they can pull it back next time.
Indeed. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Thank you as well for anybody who has subscribed with, Twitch Primes. You got yours for this month. You've not used it. We would muchly appreciate that. Bit of a sellout moment, but got to be done. But do be sure to follow. I mean, we have so many different games going on this season. There's CS, there's Hearthstone, there's PUBG, there's League. We've got all kinds of great stuff going on from, week to week. For Counter-Strike, if that's all you're interested in, we will be every Tuesday starting, fingers crossed, at about 7:15 is when the action gets going. So do be sure to tune in on the week-by-week basis. But that is everything that we've got to say here from myself and Dr. Pi. A huge thank you to everybody involved and everybody for watching. We'll see you next week.
See you later, guys.